I must find the perfect gift for my beloved. Something big and flashy. Something that'll impress him and make him pine for me the way I pine for him.
Every show has a Christmas special, and they always have the same message of giving and being grateful for everyone and everything they have around them. But I don't think any other show ever has done anything like Hey Arnold has, especially its Christmas special. I think Hey Arnold's Christmas special is the best Christmas special that any show has ever done. If you don't know, Hey Arnold is an animated Nickelodeon show that ran from 1996 to 2004, and is probably one of the best Nickelodeon shows to ever air. The show wasn't afraid to get real with the issues, such as bullying, addiction, war. People were dealing with their day-to-day lives mostly, whether they are well off or just scraping by each day. Hey Arnold covered it all, and that's just barely scraping the barrel. And Arnold's Christmas is no different. The episode starts with Arnold doing a Secret Santa with the people who he lives in the same building. Arnold ends up getting Mr. Wynn, so he tries to see what kind of information he can get so he can get the perfect present for him. Mr. Wynn tells Arnold that it's always hard this time of year, because it always reminds him of his long-lost daughter that he had to give up during the Vietnam War.
The fighting was coming closer and closer. I knew this would not be a good place for my child to grow up. I could not keep her safe.
20 years had passed, and he was finally able to move to the big city where the soldier said he was taking his daughter. But to this day, he still can't find her, and it's gotten to the point of him almost giving up on finding her for good. Arnold decides that he wants to reunite him with his daughter, but to do such a task would be nearly impossible.
It would take a miracle to find her.
Maybe. But what better time for a miracle than Christmas? Isn't that what Christmas is really about?
Meanwhile, Helga in this episode only really seems to care about getting presents, especially a pair of Nancy Spumoni signature snow boots. But she still cares enough about Arnold to get him a present, but not just any present. It has to be the perfect present, but what will be perfect for the man of her dreams?
Motorcycle. No, not flashy enough. Whatever I get him has got to be big, really big.
Arnold begins his pursuit to find Mr. Wynn's daughter and heads to a government record building with Gerald. They meet a man still working at his desk. The boys ask him for help in finding Mr. Wynn's daughter, but Mr. Bailey can't help them because he's just too busy. Before leaving, Mr. Bailey receives a call from his wife who asks if he's done the Christmas shopping yet, to which he hasn't. Arnold and Gerald take note of this and offer to do his Christmas shopping for him, to which he obliges, so the boys set out shopping before the end of the day. They almost have everything except for one thing: the Nancy Spumoni signature snow boots, which seem to be out of stock everywhere. Meanwhile, Helga is still searching for the perfect present for Arnold, but alas, she can't find anything that'll be perfect for him. Off in the distance, she sees Arnold and Gerald doing their Christmas shopping when Arnold drops his list. She picks up the list and sees that the boots are the only thing that they don't have. Unfortunately, she can't do anything about it, because she doesn't have a pair either. So she heads home for the night, feeling terrible, because she couldn't find the perfect present for Arnold. Arnold and Gerald fail to get everything on the shopping list, and Mr. Bailey refuses to help them. With nothing he can do about it, Arnold heads home without being able to give the gift that he wanted for his neighbor. We cut back to Helga, who just got back home feeling sad, while her parents and sister are singing Christmas songs. She sits down moping when her mom sees her and says she should open one of her presents early. The present ends up being the snow boots. Extremely happy because she got the boots that she wanted, she goes outside to try them out, to which the shopping list falls out of her pocket. She looks at it and realizes what she must do. Helga heads to the government facility right as Mr. Bailey is leaving. She gives him the boots, but Mr. Bailey refuses and tells her to go home. She pleads to him to find the missing girl, which he keeps on refusing to which Helga says,
Look into your heart, and we've got a choice here. Either you and I work all night to find a certain lost daughter, or you can leave now. But if you leave now, that little football-headed kid will never believe in miracles again.
The next morning, we see the gift exchange. Everyone receives a gift except for Mr. Wynn. Arnold heads over to tell Mr. Wynn that he wasn't able to get a present for him, when the doorbell rings, and the person who ends up at the door is Mr. Wynn's daughter. The end of the episode shows Helga outside wishing Arnold a Merry Christmas. A Christmas miracle happened, and it was without a doubt the best Christmas they could ever have. this episode ends up making you happy and warm for the holidays. And without a doubt, it gives me another reason to say that Hey Arnold is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Merry Christmas.